Right now, let's get our starting lineups from public address announcer Mike Wilczewski.
The assistant coaches are Eddie Jordan, Mike Bronson, Pete Carrill. The trainer is Pete Youngman. Here's the Kings starting lineup. At guard, at 6'5" from Kansas State, number 2, Mitch Richmond. At guard, at 6'1" from LSU, number 3, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Forward at 6'7" from Arkansas, number 4, Corliss Williamson. And forward at 6'9" from Syracuse, number 30, Billy Owens. And at center at 7 feet from Virginia, 0, Olden Pollinates. The coaches for your New York Knicks are Chip Van Gundy, Don Shady, Brendan Malone, Tom Thibodeau, and Jeff Nicks. The trainers are Mike Saunders, Tim Walsh, and Greg Brittenham.
Consecutive sellout at Madison Square Garden. Coming up next, the opening tip-off, the Knicks and the Kings. New York Knicks basketball is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By the American Express card. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By Delta Airlines. You'll love the way we fly. By Citibank. For banking anytime, anywhere, any way you choose. At Citibank, the city never sleeps. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center. Another matinee affair at Madison Square Garden as the Knicks host the Kings, and closed captioning is brought to you by Empire Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the best of health. So the Knicks with some strong practices this week, according to the coaching staff. No doubt, couldn't wait to get back on the floor and play, especially after the way they finished up against the Supersonics that last game, John.
Yes, the Knicks want to snap out of that pre-Thanksgiving 3-game losing streak and get a blend out there on the court, both ends of the court. Larry Johnson coming back strong after a little setback with a flu suggestion, and they just want to play like the veterans that they are, but they want to get together on the court, and that's the thing out there. Now, Jeff Van Gundy's turned it up, too, as you mentioned, Mike, with a couple of pretty strong practices. So the Knicks will be looking, I would think, to be very, very punishing today on this road team that they're facing.
Knicks here at the Garden, just 3-3, and again want to establish some home court dominance. As you see, our official, Jess Kersey, one of the best in the league, the lead official, ready to throw it up between Ewing and Olden Pollinates from the Bronx.
Olden looks like the game is already over with the band-aids he has on his face.
And Ewing, as is his norm, wins the opening tip. Charlie Ward back in the starting lineup. Knicks hoping to get off to better starts, and not exactly the way they wanted to. A turnover to begin on their first possession. Kings will take over. And that is something they worked on throughout the week. Heavy emphasis on passing the basketball, which has been the most troubling aspect of the Knicks' inconsistency. Abdul-Rauf with his first shot of the game. Nice. Former Nugget.
Nice motion out there by the Kings to start things off. It's a very potent backcourt now with Abdul Rauf in the lineup.
So Sacramento on the board first. Houston guarded by Richmond. Richmond more than a scorer. He's a good defensive player. He shuts down Houston nicely there. Ewing and Polynice. Ewing, quick turnaround. Won't go, and Abdul Rauf with the rebound. Nice feed down low to Polynice.
Oh, he earned that. He earned that. He started at three-quarter court at the other end. Full speed after Ewing missed that shot.
And Billy Owens with the nice assist. Knicks down 4-0. We've played a minute. Ewing now on the high post. Patrick Ewing. His jumper is good. And the Knicks get on the board, trailing 4-2.
Polynice will be happy if Patrick stays with the jump shot and doesn't use his superior height and strength inside.
Polynice not known to be a physical player. In fact, that's been the Kings' problem early in the season. Not the most physical and tough team you're going to face. Owens trying to work something against Johnson. Good defense from Johnson. Polynice almost keeps it alive, but Oakley comes away. Ward with the penetration. Charlie Ward can't get it to go down. Polynice quick outlet. Kings looking to run again. Oakley on Mitch Richmond now. They're going to try and get Corliss Williamson tied up down low, and the ball deflected. Good defense from Oakley. Kings will have it.
Williamson, a second-year pro, back after starting the season last year with a back injury. Kept him out. He had an operation and then came back and was overweight. But now he's a different player because of his hard work in the offseason. Wants to prove that he has a spot in the NBA that will last a long time.
Charles Oakley picks up that foul, and Williamson will go to the free throw line. He's had a terrific season from there at 82%. And one of the troubles for him going from Arkansas to the NBA was he was a power forward. Now he's got to learn to play facing the basket. As he misses the first one. Pete Carroll, their assistant coach, has been very instrumental in his development.
Yes, given the time, and that's what Pete Carroll is always longing for. Seems funny to be talking about Pete Carroll in an NBA environment, doesn't it? If he can spend time with players, he can really change their games in a positive way.
So Williamson hits 1 of 2. Knicks are down 5-2. Just over 2 minutes gone by first quarter. Knicks patiently going off the screens. And again, featuring Ewing. Ewing, quick move off the glass, and Patrick Ewing taking advantage of Polynice down low.
If Patrick can get that position, it will be a big day for him.
5-4. Knicks trail by 1. Ewing on the double team. Shot clock down to 7. Little jump hook, and Polynice able to put it down. 7-4. Knicks trail by 3. Ward off the dribble. Forces the pass, gets it back, however. Good second effort. Houston. Three-pointer way off the mark. Polynice the rebound. And the center leading the break for the Kings. And Billy Owens called for travel. Good transition defense that time by the Knicks.
Knicks want to get Larry Johnson into the offense a little bit now as we look at Gary St. Jean, who took his team into the playoffs last year and earned a first-round victory over Seattle in one of the games. That became an inspiration as they looked ahead to this season.
Johnson and Owens battling down low. Larry Johnson's strong move just won't go in. Good defense from Owens. And the Kings pushing it up. Knicks trailing 7-4. Corliss Williamson. And Houston comes away with a rebound. Knicks have missed 4 of their first 6 from the field. Ewing again draws the foul. And the Kings are going to have to start thinking about double teaming a little quicker down there.
Ewing ran hard to get down and become a target for that basketball, and that running paid off for him as he got the ball down low.
Polynice's first foul and the team's first. 3.5 gone by. First quarter. Knicks trailing 7-4. And a whistle away from the ball. This will go against Sacramento. Just Kersey doing some talking.
Knicks continue to set up double low post positions and enabling Houston, or trying to get Houston free for a side jump shot.
So a double foul. Oakley and Williamson. So Oakley picks up his second foul. As there you see 65-year-old Pete Carrill, the NBA rookie.
That is a legend in college basketball sitting on the Kings bench.
Oakley with his first field goal attempt. Battle for the board. Ewing kept it alive. But Polynice, good second effort. Abdul Rauf right there to help him out. Williamson, aggressive move to the basket. Polynice, the offensive rebound, knocked out of his hands by Ward, and the Knicks will get it.
Heck of a play by Ward, because Polynice had that ball momentarily in a position to score, as Ewing does right now.
Beautiful feed from Charlie Ward to spot the wide open Patrick Ewing, and the Knicks pull to within one.
Polynice stayed down at the other end and allowed himself to be distracted by the play that didn't go his way. Meanwhile, his man outran him to get 2 points.
Mitch Richmond with Houston right in his face. And it's 9-6. Knicks down by 3. Ward again with a penetration. Feed down low. Johnson banks it in.
What a setup by Charlie Ward.
And that's what the coaching staff trying to get him to do. Not as much perimeter passing, more penetration. He's very effective when he takes it to the hole.
Larry Johnson working very hard on Billy Owens, who handles the ball well for a 6'9" man.
Blocked by Ward, and a whistle underneath. The crowd doesn't like it, nor does Ward. He'll get called for his first.
That's a hard one, because the call was made from underneath the basket. Take a look at Abdul Rauf going up for the jump shot now. You can see from behind there was a body contact there with Charlie Ward on Abdul Rauf. Most of the time people will watch the shot execution and the hand, and if it appears that the defense has his hand on the ball, they think, where's the foul? Well, the guy was rocked perhaps around the waist level. That's a foul too.
He's an excellent free throw shooter as he hits the first, and we've got a timeout. 7:03 remaining, first quarter. Knicks trailing by 2.
Player on that play, cutting his way through the line, just picking his way through, and it was done so nicely. The New York Marriott Marquis, Broadway's biggest hit.
Abdul Rauf hitting the second free throw. Knicks down 3. Perhaps Charlie Ward thinking of football today is Florida State, Florida, that big college football matchup. Ward, of course, the former Heisman Trophy winner for the Seminoles. Allen Houston, 2-pointer, and the Knicks again within 1.
That's an example of giving the ball to the man at the right time when he's ready to do what Houston did.
Ward already, by the way, with 3 assists. Abdul Rauf, 3-pointer, short. Ewing with a rebound. Quick outlet, and the Knicks look to break. Oakley open for the jumper. And Mitch Richmond, another good rebounding guard. And he's caught for traveling. Had a notion about a pass, got caught. Gary St. Jean, as you mentioned, now in his 5th year, John. It seems 4 of those 5 years people have talked about his job in jeopardy. And even though they got to the playoffs last year, the slow start has the talk again in Sacramento.
Well, until they get Brian Grant back, who's been on the injured list now for several games, he only played 5. Can't judge this team.
Charlie Ward, a floater in the lane. Beautiful move from Charlie Ward. And the Knicks have their first lead of the game.
Brian Grant is their 3rd-year pro. Forward, big, strong guy. He's hurt the Knicks badly since he's been with the Kings, and he's out for a while. He had a shoulder operation.
He provides that toughness that's missing right now. Richmond off the nice fake, trying to get a foul as well. A smooth jumper. And the Kings back up by 1, 13-12 with 5.5 to play in the first.
Richmond's so tough because he can hurt you from medium and long range, or he can drive right around you if you come up too close.
He's hit both of his field goal attempts. He's been struggling shooting recently. Ewing and Polynice. Again, Knicks look to isolate. The feed to Oakley. Oakley draws the foul and 1.
How about that? What an unusual play and finish by Oakley. Ewing doesn't force the ball. Soft hook pass inside to Charles, who doesn't dribble, just goes right up to the basket. What a beautiful play.
Williamson, his 2nd foul. So Oakley to the line, and Patrick Ewing with a pretty assist. And Charles Oakley's free throw is good. Knicks by 2, 15-13.
Charles is a 79% foul shooter this season.
After last year's career high, when Oakley shot 83%, something he's worked on. Oakley went for the steal. Williamson now with a baseline and jams it with Ewing trying to come over.
That head was up around the rim, Mike. Boy, did he get up. He's 6'7".
Ewing falls down the other end. He's okay. Just tripped up on some legs. As Ward again, the penetration flips it high off the glass. Won't go. Ball knocked out of bounds. And the Knicks will take it on their own baseline. Ward helped keep that alive by jumping in the pile there. And Buck Williams will be the first substitution. Again, Larry Johnson has been battling the flu all week and missed a couple of practices. It was even questionable as of yesterday, but he wanted to play. However, Johnson's going to stay on the court, and Oakley with his 2 fouls will go to the bench. Oakley very outspoken about the Knicks defense. As Buck Williams gets the inbound, flips it up a la Oakley, and draws the foul, so Buck Williams will shoot a couple. Third foul on Williamson.
Yes, Charles Oakley always free and easy with his interpretations of what he thinks the team needs, and basically Charles said we have to try to strive to play better on defense, and he drove that point home pretty hard. He says if our defense gets better, we'll have a lot better shot of winning low-scoring games. So that's what he's trying to sell to his teammates.
Michael Smith comes in. Williamson with a 3 foul sits down. An Oakleyism. He calls the Knicks defense weak fence.
Charles comes up with new words from time to time.
Buck Williams in and out the second one. Polonese with his 4th rebound. Knicks by 1, 16-15. Just over 4.5 to play in the first.
I think Charles captures it best, Mike, when he said when the milk is spilled, you have to wipe it up and get some more.
Polonese, nice move down low. And Polonese off to an aggressive start. He's got 6 points, 4 boards, and the Kings are up by 1. Ward finds Ewing down low. Strong move blocked down low by Smith, but it went out of bounds, and the Knicks will take it. Chris Childs will come in, and those two, regardless of who starts, have remained good friends and helping each other out in terms of trying to improving themselves and the team. And Johnson, no, a 5-second violation. Johnson tried to get a timeout, but did not get it in time. So the Knicks with the turnover, only their second, however. They've done a much better job protecting the basketball here in the beginning of the first quarter. Again, they go to Polonese. Ewing knocked it down low, and got called for the foul. So Patrick Ewing picks up 1, his first, and Polonese to shoot.
Well, 7-foot Olden Polonese kept coming at Ewing, kept driving him in toward the basket. He drew that foul.
Polonese, who's bounced around in his career. Sacramento, his 4th NBA team. This is the first one. Plays for the Pistons, the Clippers, the Supersonics. Now his 3rd full year with Sacramento. He's actually at his best numbers while with the Kings.
He was off a quiet game in that loss against Indiana on Thanksgiving night, 9 points.
And off the bad bounce, Michael Smith, the offensive rebound. Abdul Rose, 3-pointer. And the Kings back up by 4. The Knicks did a good job going for the rebound. It just took that extra bounce. And Michael Smith there to take advantage. Buck Williams drives, lefty shot blocked. And they'll call a goaltend on Polonese.
Strong move by Buck Williams. Once again showing how effective he can be with the left hand.
He's been a little more aggressive with his offensive game in recent play. Knicks down by 2, 20-18. 3.5 remaining, first quarter. Richmond throws it away. Billy Owens not in the spot that Richmond thought. Childs off the bench. Allen Houston against Richmond. Nice lean-in move. Just won't go down. Fight for the rebound. Billy Owens comes away. Billy Owens, an aggressive, wild shot, however. Ball tipped up by Polonese, no go. And Ewing with a rebound.
motion by the Knicks now, it seems, on the offensive end.
Buck Williams trying to get position on Smith. Across the lane, there's the left hand again of Buck Williams. Ties it up at 20.
Strong low post basketball demonstration by Buck Williams.
5 quick points off the bench for Williams. Just over 2.5 remaining in the first. Game tied at 20. He's trying to get a little fancy with a dribble. And the Knicks call for an illegal defense there first, so just a warning. And we'll take time out. 2.5 remaining in the first. All tied up at the guard.
The leading
back cover of Sports Illustrated this week in his milk commercial.
The infamous milk mustache. There is no truth to the rumor he wants milk in the Gatorade bottles on the bench. I think he'd be rebuffed by his teammates.
What a nice thought, Mike.
John Wallace has come in. Pass down low to Owens. Flips it up there. Won't go in. But he draws the foul. Wallace picks up his first. And Billy Owens to the line. There was talk of Wallace perhaps getting his first NBA start today as Johnson was questionable. Once again coming off the bench as Owens set for 2.
Billy Owens in search of the consistent jump shot to round out a game that has a lot of skills in it. Rebounding the basketball, passing, handling the ball, but he has been a little remiss in developing that outside game. Comes off an 11.7 rebound game against Indiana. Been quiet the last couple of games on the road too. 8 points against Toronto, which was a win, by the way. 7 against Cleveland and a loss last Sunday.
He hits the free throws. Knicks down 2. A little over 2 minutes remaining in the first. Houston wide open 3-pointer. Buck Williams, the offensive rebound. And he has been very strong on the offensive glass. And a real spark here in the first quarter. Houston again. Off to Fake. Sets up nice feed to Williams, but he's called for a travel. Just shuffled the foot. Call not making everyone happy on the Knick bench. Williams with a smile. Van Gundy upset with that call. Like it or not, the officials have been very consistent with the emphasis on all the walking violations. Good defense. The double team forces the turnover. Childs on a 3-on-2. Back for Ewing. Ewing stripped by Abdul-Rauf for the foul. And Ewing will shoot a couple. And there's the Knick defense turning into offense as they force the turnover.
You can see also the visual effect of Chris Childs out in the court now. Ewing double teaming as he often does. Childs looking to set someone up, finally sees the big man. Ewing getting the ball at the foul line. A little early for him, but it turned out fine. Childs very verbal out there on the court, directing his teammates as this team searches for strong leadership more and more with each game now. And Childs, as the point guard in that leadership role, wants to establish it as he gets more playing time.
Ewing hits both, and you certainly have to feel that if he's verbal now, as he gets more comfortable to the setting, to his teammates, that's going to increase as the season goes on and make him a better point guard. Game tied at 22. Houston with some good defense out of Richmond, forces up the shot. Ewing rips down the rebound. Childs on the run. Houston finds Ewing down low, and Ewing gets the roll. Allen Houston with another pretty feed, and the Knicks go up by 2.
Given the chance to show his ability to pass the ball, Houston does not disappoint.
24-22. Just under a minute remaining. Knicks with a 2-point lead here in the first. Wallace fronting Owens. There's a triple team. Nice feed, and Polity can't get it to go down. Ewing taps it. Wallace grabs it off the board. Childs on the run. Ball deflected by Richmond.
Childs tried that look away. It wasn't on target.
Abdul-Rauf sets up Billy Owens. 3-pointer from Owens. No good, and Houston the weak side rebound. Under a half minute left here in the first. Childs
looking to do something against Abdul-Rauf. Ewing sets the screen. Back pass knocked out of bounds by Smith. And the Knicks will regain 6 remaining on the shot clock. We saw 13.1 remaining in the quarter. Williams finds Childs. To Ewing. Ewing with the follow-away. Patrick Ewing having a terrific first quarter. He's got 12. Knicks up by 4. Abdul-Rauf, final seconds here of the quarter. Heaves to 3. And Ewing pulls down the rebound. Will not attempt a shot. And that will end the first quarter. Ewing 12 points, 4 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the field. And the Knicks end the first quarter with a 6-0 run. They lead 26-22.
New York Knicks from the era we'll be talking about at halftime. Tom, you're a great star in LaSalle. You played 5 positions. That's almost unheard of today. How did that transition from college to pro basketball work out for you?
Well, it made it very easy. When I got with the Philadelphia Warriors, they had Neil Johnson and Paul Arizin. They were always 1-2 in scoring. So we also had Joe Grabowski, who was 6'9". So Eddie Gottlieb put me in the backcourt my rookie year. And I played backcourt in the NBA for 10 years. Nobody ever put me at forward, even though I was bigger than a lot of other forwards.
It was 30 years ago, about this time, right, that you played your last NBA game.
That was it, March of '96 in the old Garden.
The old Garden. When you look back on those Knicks years, how did that, what kind of comparison did you have to your earlier years in the NBA and when you came to New York Knicks?
Well, I always loved the Garden. I always tell everybody the biggest thrill of my basketball career when I was a freshman at LaSalle High, we won the NIT. The NIT was at the old Madison Square Garden, and it was the biggest national tournament, bigger than the NCAA, because all the basketball power was in the eastern part, and a lot of it was centered in New York. So greatest thrill of my life was when we won the NIT.
As Tom Gola, the great LaSalle great, member of the 5-man weave, Hall of Famer. And John Andres, we'll go back to you and Mike Breen. I'm sure you remember this man and how well he played the game.
Mike, it's so vivid in my mind. How about Fran O'Malley, Norm Brecken, his teammates? I can even recall Tom Gola's teammates. It was a thrill to see him play. He was the Joe DiMaggio of the basketball court in his days at LaSalle. Just thrilling. Wallace, the turnaround, off the mark. Coswell, the rebound. Coswell hitting 1 of 2 free throws just prior. However, Mitch Richmond spots up, 3-pointer short, and the Knicks will get it back. Gola's happy days at LaSalle ended when he ran into Bill Russell, the University of San Francisco center, you might recall, Mike.
He wiped the smile off a lot of people's faces. 26-23, Knicks by 3, opening minute, second quarter. John Starks in for Allen Houston to start the second. Starks with the aggressive move. Somebody may have gotten a piece of it. Buck Williams with the jump hook. And Buck Williams 7 points off the bench. Knicks by 5.
Buck has that wonderful knack of being in the center of it all and invariably dominates.
Owens somehow able to get it to go in. Doesn't seem like he had the handle.
Nice lead pass from Edney as Wallace fronted Owens without help coming from behind.
28-25. Childs kicks it out. Oakley now puts up the jumper. Williams tips it a second time, and it goes in. A superb first half for Buck Williams. The Knicks back up by 5.
Michael Smith, number 34 for the Kings, learning a little bit about Buck Williams, who was behind him.
Owens slips. Wallace ahead to Childs. Chris Childs, little dipsy-doodle. Wallace the rebound, and misses the jam. Michael Smith the rebound. Trying to get too fancy, both Childs and Wallace. Richmond off the glass, won't go. Williams rips down a rebound. Knicks will push it again. And Starks wisely doesn't try and put it up that time. Good transition defense by the Kings. Oakley on the feed. Beautiful pass, and Wallace slams it in. And the Knicks their largest lead here in the first half, a 7-point advantage.
Knicks getting some flow, some pace going in their direction now.
And a 20-second timeout for the Kings as the Knicks bench getting it done. Buck Williams, 9 points, 5 rebounds in just 7 minutes of play.
Good combination out there in the backcourt now with Starks and Childs. Both of these guys want to move, and they're getting the Knicks to move. Charles Oakley breaks away with a delayed kind of pick and roll play. Doesn't finish it up though, but finds John Wallace. Williams adding an awful lot in his presence on the court now. They'll box out on Buck Williams, and he knows what to do with that left hand, right hand, whatever it may be. Look at, he took on 4 Kings. You see 4 dark shirts there, and Buck Williams. And guess who won that battle?
It was always the last off-season acquisition discussed. As you see the Knicks with good numbers in terms of passing the ball. And they've cut down on the turnovers. And Buck Williams, such a veteran, terrific addition to this team. Richmond, nice move inside.
That's a very, very tough matchup, clearly for John Starks. John was kind of riding Richmond to the basket on that play.
Richmond has 6. Knicks lead by 5. Starks facing a double team. 7 on the shot clock. Starks down the lane, flips it up, wild shot. And the Kings will get it back as Larry Johnson will check back in.
The fact is, Mike, John Starks took a shot, a layup, looking over the top of the backboard. That's amazing.
Not a good shot, but certainly you've got to like the way all the guards, instead of the perimeter passing, a lot more penetration, and that certainly makes the defense commit.
Well, they're moving now. There's a whole different pace out there.
Richmond with the fall away. That's a tough shot.
John Starks' job is going to have to be to try and keep the ball out of Richmond's hands. It's the best thing he can do.
He's difficult to stop once he has it. As the Knicks lead cuts to 3. Larry Johnson fighting down low with Billy Owens. Johnson head fake, tries to draw the foul. Shot won't go, but he does get the whistle. And Larry Johnson will shoot a couple. Michael Smith picks up his first. And you look at Larry Johnson's numbers, John, and he's shooting 54%. As you see the strength down low. But there's no question that he could look for his offense so much more. But you've noticed in the last couple of the games, he is making moves like that. Earlier in the season, when he saw that double team coming, he'd be quick to pass it up, and now he knows that he's got to at least look for his offense a whole lot more.
Well, Larry has to move quickly when he gets that basketball. Sometimes if there's too much time as he misses the second one as well, the defense doubles and triples on him, and he just can't get a good look at the basket. It's got to happen quicker for Larry Johnson for him to be effective.
So the Knicks with a second effort keep it alive. Lionel Simmons comes back in. Billy Owens will sit down. Owens with 4 points. Knicks to inbound. Oakley finds an open Buck Williams again. The left hand, count it, and 1. The Kings calling for a travel. Buck Williams with a chance for a 3-point play. What a first half he's having. 11 points and 5 boards already.
Buck's been averaging 5 points per game, and he's more than double, as you point out.
5 of 6 from the field. His season high is just 12. And a real spark for the Knicks off the bench. Count the free throw. Knicks back up by 6, 35-29. A little over 8 minutes remaining here in the second. Tyus said the second year out of UCLA, the backup point guard. Finds Richmond down to Causwell. Oakley almost had a steal. Causwell the slam and a foul.
But when you try and steal the ball from a 7-foot guy under the basket, unless you know you have help behind, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get burned. Charles goes for the steal, and there's no one there other than the man coming in who can't deal with it at that point.
So Causwell to the line for 1. Cardozo High School, Queens Village, another local product. This time connects 35-32. Knicks with a 3-point lead. Just under 8 minutes remaining, second quarter. Johnson now trying to work on Lionel Simmons. Johnson, quick move across. The running layup, backs it in, and a foul.
Boy, that's the word you said, Mike. Quick move. The Knicks cleared out the side for him, and in a one-on-one situation, he's going to win most of the time. There's a clear out now. You can see him signal to his teammates, stay out of here, let me go. That's not Muggsy Bogues. That's Chris Childs. A lot less strain on Larry's back when he thanks a teammate. You know? Muggsy had to bend down low, you know. Straight was good for his back.
If he hits the free throw. Excellent point, John.
Really pertinent, right?
He'll probably agree. Edney tied up down low. Good defense from Childs to shut him off on the baseline. Knicks lead by 6. Richmond, bad shot. Oakley the rebound and flips it out to Starks.
Hey, how about that for a pitch out?
Nice move. Buck Williams slams it in. And the Knicks go up by 8. Williams with 13 points. That's a season high. And we're still in the second quarter. Kings want a timeout. 7:10 remaining. Second. Knicks with an 8-point advantage.
Because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Well, the Kings with a shot that normally Mitch Richmond makes, but Charles Oakley initiating a fast break as he falls out of bounds. Starks beautifully to Buck Williams, who is rolling.
And just a nice, easy bounce pass from Starks. Nothing fancy. That's been part of the Knicks' problem. Good feed down low. Caldwell wide open as Abdul Rauf with a pretty assist. 40-34. Knicks lead by 6. Just under 7 to play in the second. Starks gets Childs off the screen. Childs the pull-up jumper. Ball knocked loose. Tyus Edney has it. Edney on second thought drives in and gets the layup.
He couldn't believe how wide open he was after that spin.
Nobody more shocked than the second-year man out of UCLA. Edney, the backup point guard, as Bobby Hurley of Jersey City, still with the Kings, does not see a lot of action. 40-36. Knicks lead by 4. We're approaching the midway point here in the second.
A lot of dribbling by John Starks here.
Johnson left wide open. 3-pointer. Smith the rebound.
Excuse me, Mike. Tough for Larry Johnson to hit that long shot. He seldom takes that shot.
His percentage not bad from 3, but that's not where you want him shooting. As Simmons does not connect. Oakley with a rebound and another quick outlet.
It's okay, though, if he's in a pattern of shooting jump shots. But he hasn't taken one in so long.
Starks call for the double dribble. Holidays will come back in. That's the 5th turnover as Bobby Hurley on the bench. He's only played 17 minutes so far throughout the season. Talking with some of the Kings people, he still can play. That auto accident, the near fatal auto accident a couple of years ago, really set him back. He's now back physically. And in the right situation, John, I really still feel he can be a very valuable point guard in this league.
Yes, he is in that falling into that horrible phrase of a victim of the numbers right now. As you see Edney penetrate and give that ball to Polynice for the side jumper.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Caldwell. And the Knicks will get it as Ewing and Houston come back in for the Knicks.
It's so tough when coaches decide you're in a certain category. It's tough to get out of that category if it's one where you're not playing a lot. And that's what happened to Bobby Hurley in his recovery period. They just don't feel enough confidence in using him regularly.
Starks and Mike Saunders heading back to the Knicks locker room as Childs throws it away. Of course, Hurley's alma mater, Duke, and Dr. Scott also going back there as well. We'll get an update on that. Duke losing in the NIT finals. Had about 17,000 here last night. Nice crowd for college basketball as Indiana won the championship game. Lionel Simmons kicks it out. Edney tied up. Shot clock down to 4. Caldwell fires it up. And Ewing the rebound and traffic. Little drop by both teams right now. Knicks by 4. Just over 4.5 remaining in the second. Houston finding Oakley. And Ewing left wide open. Patrick Ewing continues to shoot extremely well. 14 first-half points. And the Knicks back up by 6. Ewing 6 of 7 from the field. And let's see the call. Larry Johnson and Dr. Scott with a quick look at John Starks in his back. Appears to be a good sign.
Patrick Ewing has erased that 2 for 15 memory in the last Knicks game against Seattle with his fine shooting here today so far.
Abdul-Rauf off the screen, a wide open jumper. 42-38, Knicks by 4. Knicks have led by as many as 8. Kings jumped out early. They held a 4-point lead in the first. In a close battle, almost knocked away. Johnson picks up the loose ball. Childs on the baseline. Finds Ewing wide open again. This one won't go down. Oakley tried to keep it alive, and Abdul-Rauf has it. Oakley pleading his case with Jess Kersey down the other end. Ball knocked away by Ewing. Here come the Knicks on the break. Childs ahead. Oakley underneath, draws the foul, and he'll shoot 2 as Patrick Ewing steals down the other end. Leads to the break.
So the doctor goes to the locker room to work with John Starks, comes back, sits down, and needs a doctor.
Now, you know what?
That's right. He can fall back on the skills of his wife, Dr. Susan Gray, who happens to be a hand specialist.
5 years ago, he gets back in the seat with no problem. It's not the same player he used to be. Although, you know, he always wants to get back in his seat as quickly as possible to yell at the refs. He's one of the all-time great ref babies.
He's an active fan. So much for privacy, huh, Mike?
And what we've received word that strictly a nature call from Mr. Starks. But of course, Dr. Scott does such a great job for so many years. As Oakley to the free throw line. Oakley hits both. Knicks back up by 6. 3.5 to play in the second. Knicks certainly a lot sharper offensively here in the first half, John.
Well, they're moving. They're really moving out there much better.
Michael Smith got away with a push on Oakley.
Charles Oakley went flying.
Abdul-Rauf, three-pointer. Ewing, the weak side rebound. 6 boards for Ewing here in the first half. Houston kicks it out. Good ball movement. Charlie Ward. Three-pointer won't go. Ewing has it knocked out of his hands. Ball is inbounds on the top of the backboard as long as it does not hit the shot clock. So it can hit the top and bounce off and still be in play as Ward called for a foul, and we'll have a timeout. 2:52 remaining, second quarter here at Madison Square Garden. Knicks lead the Kings 44-38.
What's the nurse's diagnosis?
Definitely needs medical attention.
May I prescribe the 97 Skylark?
I've been looking at new cars, and everything I want is extra.
And as part of the MSG Network's community outreach program, Yes, Make It Count, join New York Knicks color analyst John Andres. The annual YMCA sports auction to benefit the Youth Scholarship Program this Tuesday, December 3rd here at the Garb. You're invited to attend this special event. Includes a buffet dinner, a live and silent auction, and tickets to the Knicks Heat game that evening. For more information, 212-630-1522. Knicks leading by 6. Abdul-Rauf took a shot in the head. And asking the official for call. There's a technical foul being called. Illegal defense called against the Knicks in a second, so there's the technical. Abdul-Rauf, for those wondering, now during the national anthems, as he did today, stands out on the floor with his teammates with his head down and his eyes closed in his own silent prayer. Of course, the controversy from last year when he had a problem with the national anthem, saying that the flag symbolized oppression, according to his religion.
Yes, they lost their love for him in Denver as he stood up for what he felt was right, and he was very happy to leave Denver and be a member of the Sacramento Kings.
They'll claim that that was nothing to do with the trade. It's Politis with a nice move, but there's no question that had something to do with him leaving. The people in Denver, the hometown fans, much like many across the nation, very angry. Knicks by 3, 44-41. Houston Houston fires. Two-pointer is good. Allen Houston now with 4 points. Knicks back up by 5. Holiday's down the other end. Flips it up there, but Smith on the follow.
That's an embarrassing sequence for the Knicks. The jump shot at one end, so nicely done by Houston. And then they were just beaten down court severely on that play.
You get the feeling that's why Jeff Van Gundy called a 20-second timeout. Certainly not happy with that.
Well, you can't let that slide. You can't let it just go away and say, hey, just 2 points. There we go.
Well, he does whatever he's telling him in a very calm manner. A very difficult situation for Van Gundy as he comes in his first full year to come in and have your real first head coaching experience, obviously besides high school, and to have it in New York with a team with such high expectations, with a team with so many new players.
Well, it's just a clear example how difficult it is to turn chemistry on. Reputations don't create good chemistry. It has to work its way out on the court. Sacrifice is a big part of making it work.
46-43. Knicks by 3. 1:48 to play in the second. Larry Johnson. Nice move to the basket. Now the Knicks go back up by 5.
See the speed with which that was executed? That's when Johnson can be a monster.
No indecision is Allen Houston with the foul. And that's the whole strength of his game, and that's why the struggles, John, because he is so quick when he's aggressive, and there's no hesitancy in his game at all.
Allen Houston flips over a beautiful pass as Larry Johnson extends right to the basket on that.
Houston, his 3rd assist as Edney will shoot. Houston also picked up his first foul down the other end.
One of the problems now with the Kings, with Abdul Rauf there, Edney, before that trade was made, felt that he would be the starting point guard after his fine season last year. Now he comes in to spell Abdul Rauf a lot, although they're playing together now, but it's disturbed his game in that he tries to emulate him. He's trying to score a little bit too much, trying to shoot the ball when Abdul Rauf goes to the bench and he comes out to replace him.
Edney from the B.J. Armstrong school of, I look like I'm 12 years old. Ward feeds Oakley underneath. Can't go down. Oakley a second chance, draws the foul. Oakley mad at himself for not putting the first in, but did not let it affect the second effort.
Oakley and Ewing are doing a big job wearing out the Kings on the boards. Nice penetration there by Charlie Ward to Charles, who had difficulty making that ball go in the hoop, but he draws the foul, much to his disappointment, as you can see.
Holiday's the second foul. Oakley 5 points, 6 rebounds here in the first half. 49-44, Knicks by 5, 1:13 remaining in the second. And of course, turnovers something keeping an eye on. Knicks with only 5 turnovers in the first half. Certainly the best number in quite some time, John. That's what they worked on in practice when they had all the extra days. They also did a lot of scrimmaging. When you don't play for 5 full days, coaching staff wanted to make sure they stayed in some kind of game shape, so they went at each other pretty good. Oakley puts the Knicks back up by 6. Just over a minute remaining here in the first half. Edney again gets away from the double team. Feed down low, knocked away by Charlie Ward. The Knicks defense coming up with a number of deflections. Ward to Ewing. Ewing puts it in. Beautiful teamwork from Ward and Ewing. And the Knicks back up by 8. Ewing 7 of 9 from the field, 16 points. Feed goes underneath. Holiday's the short jumper. 52-46. You see your time remaining in the second. Ewing isolated again with the jump shot. Oakley trying to grab it. Smith took it away. Michael Smith, an excellent rebounder. Holiday's again beats the Knicks down the floor. Johnson on the block, but he also got a piece of the arm. And Holiday's will shoot a couple as Larry Johnson picks up his 3rd foul.
Well, the Kings on the move. Holiday's running the court as he has for the entire first half very well. He's made it very difficult for Ewing as he's beaten him down court several times.
Polynice went to All Hallows High School in the Bronx. Longtime coach there, John Carey, coached him. Always a power in the CHSAA.
I had the pleasure of meeting John at the CHSAA Hall of Fame dinner this past summer, Mike. Delightful guy.
A lot of good high school coaches in the New York City area. As Johnson comes out, I want to remind you, coming up, the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle halftime report. We'll have some more reminiscing with KNICKS alumni. And, of course, highlights. Mike Crispino and Clyde will be on hand. As Polynice hits the free throws.
We're visiting with Willie Knowles, Johnny Green, Tom Gold will be introduced, among others. The over, I guess, 40 crowd, Mike?
Perhaps. Shot clock is turned off. There's seconds left in the half. Ewing draws the foul, and he'll shoot two as he got Polynice to go up in the air. Patrick Ewing, a terrific first half, will shoot 2 free throws with 4/10 of a second remaining.
Well, Patrick playing the role of a forward with that little head fake, and that gets the defense to commit while he draws the foul.
You mentioned after the bad shooting night against the Supersonics, he's come out very strong. 7 of 10 from the field. Misses his free throw. 16 points, 6 boards, and a couple of steals from Ewing as Abdul Rauf coming in for perhaps a desperation heave attempt. Ewing cans a second. Knicks up by 5. Polynice inbounds, and they won't have enough time to get the shot off. And that will signal halftime here at Madison Square Garden. Ewing with 17 points as the Knicks do a much better job defensively and protecting the basketball. Halftime score, the Knicks 53, the Kings 48. Halftime report coming up.
Standing by courtside, John Andres with a couple of members of the second decade of Knicks teams.
Thank you, Mike. Well, what a pleasure it is for me. I sat here many times at Madison Square Garden in the earlier days when Willie Knowles to my left and Johnny Green to my right were playing as members of the Knicks. Willie, you came a long way from California, so we'll start with you first. I know you're going to head back after the game. Memories of your time with the Knicks. I know it was a, let's see as I go to my notes here, 1956 to 63, Willie Knowles wore a Knicks shirt. And give me a little flashback to your time as a member of the Knicks.
Well, what I remember most about the Knicks is when I first got here, I was from the West Coast. There was no professional sports out there. So I was in awe of New York, and the people were very nice to me. I was just talking to Lenny Coffey early today, Marty Glickman specifically, and a lot of the other people here were very, very nice to me. So that's the thing that I remember most. Fans were very nice. We had a great career here.
I'm sure they enjoyed your presence because of your 19 points and 10 rebounds a game, Willie. Tell us a little bit about what Willie Knowles is doing now in California.
Well, I am a pastor now, and I work with young people primarily, but I'm a pastor in a church out there in Four Square Church. And so I spend most of my time with my family and working with young people. I was really honored when I was called to come out here. Someone told me that I was the first African-American captain of the New York Knickerbocker team and also an integrated professional sport. So I was very honored to come out here, and I've had a good life, and God's been good to me.
Okay, let's talk to one of your teammates now, Johnny Green. Johnny, we see you from time to time, naturally, as a man who lives in this area. Jumping Johnny Green, 3-time NBA All-Star, and you picked up after 2 years after Willie Knowles did with the New York Knicks. Give us a Knick memory from Johnny Green.
Oh, well, you know, we had a great time playing here in New York. Although we were not on a championship team, I had been traded away, but it was always good to come back and see the Knicks, the championship years, and I enjoyed it just as much as the players did on the floor because those were some great years.
Johnny, was there any truth to the fact that the rumor said that you could take a quarter off the top of a backboard?
Well, John, you know, I always had a saying about that, and I said I would never go up that high for just a quarter. It would have to be much more money than that.
You didn't give me a direct answer. How high up could you go?
Well, really, it's about 4 feet from the top of the backboard. So, you know, I was measured, and that's what I was able to do.
You were up at the top?
Yeah, very close.
Jumping Johnny Green was a legend, believe you me, when he got out on the basketball court. Willie Knowles, the game today as you see it, do you stay in touch with the NBA?
Yes, Jerry West is a very good friend of mine, so the game has drastically changed and improved. There are more greater athletes now, and the preparation is better, the competition is fiercer, it's a very highly marketed profession now. It's entertainment.
Willie, the days when you were here, the Knicks were not a championship team. Does that mar your memory of your time here?
No, it does not at all. I learned a lot. We gave our best shot. And the best thing that happened to me, actually, at the end of my career, I played in Boston on 3 world championship teams, so I got 3 rings. But I remember the Knicks very much. It was very much a part of my life. We were family.
Well, Willie, I remember you. I was just asking you about coming up to scrimmage Fordham once, and the young men of Fordham, of which I was one, had the displeasure of banging up on the body like yours and your teammates. Willie, a real pleasure to see you. You look great, and thank you for spending a few minutes with us.
Thank you very much, John.
And Johnny Green, it's always a pleasure to see you. We see you frequently at the Garden. It's nice to recall, even though we had a few seconds here, some happy memories of your presence with the Knicks.
Yeah, thank you, John. I enjoyed it very much.
Okay, now let's go back to Mike Crispino.
Thanks very much, John Andres. A couple of the members of the all-decade team of the second decade of New York Knicks basketball. We'll be back with more from Madison Square Garden. You've been watching the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle halftime report on MSG.
Get out of my chair. Every day you come and get in my chair. JJ, come get your dog. Sitting in my chair again. Come on. Get up. Out. Come on. Come on down. Come on. Down. Boy, I tell you, man's best friend? I don't think so. Duke, you better be glad the kids love you.
At Foot Locker and Champs Sports.
The magic of Disney's new 101 Dalmatians movie swept the land, and McDonald's near and far are celebrating with 4 wonderfully festive snow domes. Each snow dome only $1.99 when you buy any extra value meal or new deluxe sandwich. Now everyone can treasure and share the snow domes, but hurry, for there is one who would have them all for herself. The fun is unleashed at McDonald's, your Dalmatian location.
Just because he always let me take the first run on the snow that nobody had walked in. Just because he gave me the fast sled and pull it back up the hill. Just because he's still my big brother, I call him. Just to trade jokes and maybe ask his advice on some little thing or another. Because that's what big brothers are for.
We've got to move fast, Kirby. I hope you booked Hertz.
Not exactly, but this company's fast.
Fastest Hertz #1 club goal?
Not exactly, but they do have a special place to pick up the car.
Like Hertz?
Not exactly, but it'll be waiting.
Under a canopy? With the keys in it?
Not exactly.
And protected from the weather?
Not exactly.
Counting on that promotion, Kirby?
No, not exactly.
Now Hertz gives triple frequent flyer miles on weekend and weekly rentals.
The classic American designer. November 30th, 1991, Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons jump out to an early 18-point lead at the Garden. But Patrick Ewing ignites a rally late in the first half that continues into the third quarter as the Knicks score 19 consecutive points. Ewing finished with 45, leading New York to the victory and a 9-0 home record.
This date in New York Knicks history is brought to you by Tommy Hilfiger, the classic American designer.
Mike Crispino back at the Garden, a 5-point lead and an evenly played first half. The Knicks on top of the Sacramento Kings. Let's go to Mike Breen and John Andres for more.
Thank you, Mike. Story for the Knicks in that first half. Patrick Ewing, 17 points, and Buck Williams, a season-high 14 points off the bench. A great spark in that first half.
Yes, Buck 6 out of 7 from the field. It's unusual that he would get that many shots at the basket. However, he went and got them himself.
Absolutely.
No one was setting picks for Buck Williams. He was down there digging that ball off the hoop.
course, Buck Williams did a lot of scoring in his early days, both with the Nets and with Portland. Abdul Rauf, Mitch Richmond, Billy Owens, Olden Polynice, and Corliss Williamson, the starting 5 for the Kings. Abdul Rauf can't connect. Ewing tips the rebound to himself. Same 5 that started for the Knicks: Allen Houston, Charlie Ward, who did get the start this afternoon, Larry Johnson, Oakley, and Ewing. Ward with a strong first half with 4 assists. Ewing left wide open. Can't connect that time. Owens the rebound. Pass down low to Polynice. Ewing went for the steal. Polynice takes advantage.
Ewing going for the steal. However, Oakley, who was always there to help, had to come too far a distance to get there in time.
14 for Polynice. Knicks lead is 3. Opening minute, or just a little over a minute gone by here in the third. Ewing backing in. Nice feed to Oakley, but he couldn't handle it, and it's knocked out of bounds. Oakley claims one of the Kings touched it last. But Sacramento will get the ball.
One of the things that's haunted Gary St. Jean on this trip that the Kings have been on have been the third quarters of each game. The last 3 games, this club has been outscored 79-48 in the third quarter. So that's what the Kings are on the verge of either having it be repeated or do something to change that bad statistic for them.
Charlie Ward can't get it to go down. Now we have a loose ball foul called against Polynice, so that's going to be his 4th. Let's look right now at the Toyota matchup at the center position. Both doing a job scoring. Ewing with the edge and rebounds a little bit as well, but Polynice holding his own.
Polynice is doing extremely well, considering he's averaging 10.5 points a game.
By the way, that last foul they call on Richmond, so Polynice still has just 3. Richmond's first. Ewing, a couple of head fakes, puts it up and banks it in. Ewing feeling he can score at will on Polynice, and that's been the case. Knicks by 5. Nearly 2 minutes gone by here in the third. Richmond's been relatively quiet. Houston has done a good job on him. Oakley slaps it away. Ball almost saved, hit off the back of the backboard. Charlie Ward right in the midst of things down low again. He's not afraid to mix it up down there.
Charlie is tough. I know for a fact that he eats nails, Mike.
He's doing it now without a helmet.
See, I can do that with you. I wouldn't even dare do that with the other fellows here most of the time.
55-50. Knicks lead by 5. Marv Albert will be back on Tuesday with the Miami Heat. Pat Riley and the Heat with their first game against the Knicks this year.
Marv's been tanning himself in Florida all week.
Richmond, there's a nice move. And it's a 3-point lead for the Knicks. Richmond now with double figures, 10 points. Ward again, the penetration. There's the matchup the Knicks like. Ewing and Polynice. And Patrick Ewing continues to shoot well. 9 of 13 now for 21 points.
Knicks are doing a great job in getting the ball to Ewing down low. Polynice can't seem to deny him the position he wants.
There's a double team. Ewing knocks it away. Last touch by Abdul Rauf. And Ewing, who had 2 steals in the first half, his double teaming out there has really improved. Knicks by 5, 57-52. 3 minutes gone by third quarter. Oakley finds Ewing. Again, the single coverage on Ewing. Williamson goes to help out. Ewing's pass to Oakley knocked away. 4 on the shot clock. Oakley being urged to shoot, does, puts it up, hits the rim, no good. Ewing's tip misses. Ward gets the rebound. Charlie Ward's fouled. Shot will count and 1. Charlie Ward again down low, and a chance for a 3-point play. 4th foul now on Polynice, and you've got to credit Ewing for help keeping that alive.
Yes, Ewing did a terrific job of keeping it alive, as you say, with that tip, and then Charlie not giving up on the play. He saw all those Kings around the basket. He could have turned around and succumbed to the presence of all the Kings players.
Well, Polynice was in the wrong place, wrong time. Knicks lead is 7. 8.5 remaining, third quarter.
They can't get a pick and roll going because Charlie Ward keeps running over that Owens pick.
Ewing called for a bump. That'll be his second, team's second. Kings will take it out. Ward was holding on to his right hand, it appears. At least one of the two hands seemed to be shaken up a bit. Richmond trying to get something going. Paladis gets Ewing up in the air, draws the foul. And Patrick Ewing did not like the call. Has a stare for Benny Adams, but that'll be his third.
Ewing is playing very aggressively, and on that play tried very hard not to have contact, kind of pulled away after he thrust himself into the play, as Jeff Van Gundy now wants to talk to Patrick, perhaps about not reaching in on a man who's not going to hurt you from 15, 18 feet away from the basket. You don't have to try and steal the ball every time. Hold your ground.
Paladis now 2 of 5 from the line, John. They get 2 of 6. He is a horrible free throw shooter, 58% for his career. Knicks by 7. 4 minutes gone by in the third. Ward now will set it up again. Houston from the left corner, quick release. Johnson kept it alive, but right to Paladis. And the Kings will look to break. Mitch Richmond, three-pointer. And just like that, it's a 4-point Knick lead. So Richmond now starting to get the feel a little bit here in the third. 59-55. Ewing again, single coverage with Paladis. Williamson goes to double team. He's too late. Ewing runs, forces a shot, ball knocked out of bounds. And Jess Kersey says, I need help. I didn't see it. Bernie Fryer says, let's jump it up. Now the third official, Benny Adams, says it's Kings ball. So good teamwork by the officials. 2 of them not sure. The third one says, I got it. That's why they have 3, John.
Makes a lot of sense, Mike.
Can't imagine the old days having two refs out there.
Oh, particularly with the speed and physicality of the game today.
And Charles Oakley with the physical foul. That'll be his third. Paladis will go to the line again, which is actually a good thing for the Knicks, the way Paladis has been shooting from the line. Good numbers for Paladis. 7:10 remaining here in the third. Another missed free throw. And of course, coming up Tuesday, the Heat. Pat Riley come to Madison Square Garden. 7:30 Knicks game night. MCS Canada Knicks game night. Tip off shortly after 8. Knicks will play the Heat twice next week down in Miami next Friday as well.
Paladis is a very durable player. Hasn't missed a game due to injury since joining the Kings midway through the 1993-94 season.
Finally hits the second free throw. 59-56. Knicks up by 3. 7 minutes remaining, third quarter. Ewing sets a screen for Ward. Tries to split 2 defenders. Good double team there. Now Ewing, pass deflected. Oakley saves it. Houston, three-pointer. Allen Houston from downtown. And the Knicks go back up by 6. Houston's first 3. 7 total points for Allen Houston. But he's done some good other things besides shooting. Abdul Rauf on the leader. Ward may have gotten a piece of it. And Houston will slow it down. Larry Johnson calling for the ball down low against Billy Owens. Johnson wanted it that time.
Owens did a good job, though, of taking Johnson away.
Oakley with a move. And here come the Kings the other way. Rifle pass to Williamson. Spin underneath. And he backs it in on the reverse side. Nice move. And Jeff Van Gundy wants a timeout.
Williamson had 3 early fouls. Only played 7 minutes of the first half.
6:01 remaining, third quarter. Knicks lead by 4.
Shot of the game, and Princeton once again upsets one of the big teams in this country. And Pete Carroll gives the team and his boys and his lovers a big smile, which is a rare thing to get from Pete Carroll on a basketball court.
44 years in coaching, first in the NBA. Harry St. Jean loves having him. Ewing down low, the jump hook. Paladis tips it. Oakley knocks it a second time, and it's going to be Kings ball. Krill, of course, brought here by Jeff Petrie, who played for him at Princeton.
What's great is to see a man of his knowledge and success appreciated.
Richmond down low, flips it up. Ewing grabs the rebound, and the Knicks look to break. Houston pulls up for the jump shot. Allen Houston finding the stroke. Knicks back up by 6. Houston now with 9.
He was guarded by the man they call the Rock on that play, Mitch Richmond, who fell down trying to keep up with Houston.
A little over 5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Knicks led by 5 at halftime. Ewing knocks it away. Polynice gets it back. He's tied up. Abdul-Rauf wide open, and he does not miss many of those.
That's one guy you can't afford to leave wide open.
64-60. Ewing, nice feed from Houston, and he slams it down.
That is a pick and roll to perfection.
4th assist for Houston. 23 points for Ewing. Knicks by 6. Owens on the right wing.
Owen wants to drive that ball.
Forces up the shot. Excellent defense there from Larry Johnson. And Ewing gets the rebound. Ewing with a double-double. Also has 11 boards. Now Johnson down the other way. Corliss Williamson deflects it, comes up with a steal. Richmond down low, Williamson, and an easy 2 for Corliss Williamson. And once again, the Knicks lead cut to 4. Sacramento hanging tough. Just under 4 to play here in the third. Houston off the screen. Flips it underneath, and Johnson is fouled. Tell you what, Allen Houston really finding the open man this afternoon.
Yes, it's starting, though, with strong penetrating moves by him. Houston moving quickly to the basket, drawing the attention like a point guard, and then handing it off like a point guard.
And he's also done a good job defensively on Rich Richmond, who's had some explosive games against the Knicks. He has 13 now, as Larry Johnson connects on the first one. Johnson now 8 points.
Hard to believe in 18 minutes of the first half, Johnson did not have a rebound. Houston, however, on his last basket, one of the other things he's doing so well, moves like that. That short jumper.
And a short free throw from Larry Johnson. Knicks lead is 5, 67-62.
Knicks did out-rebound the Kings in the first half. Kings have been out-rebounded in their last 5 games.
Richmond fires up, and he's fouled. Houston not happy with the call. And we'll have 2 free throws. His foot on the line, so Richmond will shoot 2. Buck Williams has come back in for the Knicks. And Richmond will go to the free throw line for the first time this afternoon. He's hit 27 consecutive free throws. Always a good free throw shooter, 84% for his career. They get 28 in a row.
Here's a man in special company, 21+ points per game in each of his first 8 seasons. And look who he joins. Kareem, Barry, Bird, Chamberlain, Jordan, the Big O.
Talk about consistency. His lowest scoring average is 21.9 as he hits both. His highest 23.9. He's been in that range his entire career. And he pulls the Kings to within 3, 67-64. Knicks holding on to the lead, 3.5 remaining here in the third. Ewing again against Polynice, drives and can't get it to go down. Owens the rebound. Richmond again, underneath, nice move, and Ewing the rebound. Richmond wanted a foul. Charlie Ward helped out there. Houston spots up. 3-pointer short. Buck Williams a rebound. Back for Houston. Feed to Larry Johnson. Excellent teamwork again from Allen Houston.
What an unselfish attitude by Houston.
5 assists now for Houston. Knicks with a 5-point lead. Some chance of defense from the sellout crowd.
See, Ewing can lay off Polynice, who's not even looking to shoot the ball.
Williamson able to connect. And that's where he's developed his game this year. Corliss Williamson. And again, the Knicks lead cut to 3. Just under 2.5 remaining in the third. Knicks trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Kings have lost 4 of 5. Johnson, aggressive move, banks it in on the reverse side.
How about the smile, though? You know, I think he was smiling in the middle of that move. He's feeling good.
Some of his quickest moves to the basket have come here this afternoon, and the Kings want timeout. 2:09 remaining, third quarter. Knicks with a 5-point lead.
The Knicks battle the Heat after MTS Cannon game night, Tuesday night on MSG.
Me to give great deals on brand new Fords, new conversion vans, and quality pre-owned cars at Franklin Square Ford. The way they squeeze me makes me want to go fly a kite. Franklin Square Ford, 690 Hempstead Turnpike, Franklin Square.
It's Thanksgiving weekend at Ski Stop, America's winter warehouse. 3 big days. One amazing event. Truckloads of the world's best brands in winter wear, ski, and snowboard gear. Shipped in, marked down. Rock bottom prices on what to give and get. Skis, boots, poles, everything in winter wear from outerwear to underwear. And the attic at Ski Stop has more snowboards, clothing, and accessories than you'll ever see in a lifetime. So put down your drumstick and pick up your wish list because this sale ends Sunday.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends or your son, to drink responsibly because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Looks like John McEnroe's taking quite a beating from his son, huh? But he likes it.
Having a great time.
Well, the Knicks flashing a lot of unselfish play out here today. Allen Houston drawing attention. Then he sees Larry Johnson at the last minute. Johnson piles his way in. Here's Larry lining up his own move. Little crossover dribble. Up and under for his 12th point here in the game. He's already hit his per game average on 5 out of 7 from the field.
Knicks by 5. Just over 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. The Kings certainly not backing down. Mitch Richmond off the dribble. Tough shot. Again, Houston played him well there, but that's where Richmond separates himself from everyone else. The Knicks scoring an awful lot down low. Their lead, however, just 3. Ewing against Paladis, knocked away. Ball picked up by Houston, the quick jumper. And Paladis the rebound. Ewing wanted a foul on that last play. Fancy dribbling from Abdul-Rauf. Now Houston picks him up on the switch. Quick pull-up, and that's a pretty shot.
Speed and deception. Abdul-Rauf so difficult to contain.
71-70. This is the closest the Kings have been here in the third quarter. Knicks led by 5 at halftime. Johnson isolated with Billy Owens. Chris Childs. 3-pointer for Chris Childs, and the Knicks go up by 4.
Boy, Ewing knew exactly what he wanted to do when he got that basketball. He knew Childs would be there.
Benny Adams, the official, blows the whistle. There's something for the scores table. Don't know what it was. Stark's ready to come in. 74-70. Knicks with a 4-point lead. Final minute, third quarter. Quick 3, Abdul-Rauf. And just like that, it's back to a 1-point Knick lead. He has 17. Both the Kings guards, Abdul-Rauf and Richmond, starting to find it here in the third. Childs' aggressive move. And an offensive foul called on Chris Childs. First foul on Childs.
Williamson set himself up, seeing Childs come in to draw that offensive foul, and he did. Childs with that strong move. Williamson just positioning himself to draw the foul, and he succeeded.
35 seconds remaining here in the third. Kings looking to take their first lead since late in the first quarter. Shot no good, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Oakley, and the Kings will get it. 28.6 remaining in the third.
Much better third quarter for the Kings than their last 3 games. And they've been outscored in the third by over 10 points a game.
Richmond wants it. Richmond with 9 of his 17 here on the third. Spins away from Starks. Holiday from the baseline. And the Kings have their first lead since late in the first quarter. Shot clock turned off. Starks knocked away from behind by Richmond. They have plenty of time ahead to Richmond. And it's a 3-point Kings lead. 8/10 of a second remaining. Starks from half court. It won't count. And that will end the third quarter. Kings finish off strong, a 7-0 run. 3 quarters complete. Knicks down by 3.
And now from Paris, from Milan, from St. Louis.
Introducing a new look from Budweiser. Born on dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Nice label.
Thanks.
Every holiday, millions come to a very special place. They come for what they know they'll find. We're helping you handle the holidays.
Now there's a vehicle. See your Tri-State GMC dealer today.
Nobody beats the Whiz open Thanksgiving weekend. Special hours and hourly sales in every department. Thanksgiving weekend, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Nobody beats the Whiz.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the United States Postal Service. We deliver for you. By MetLife. Get Met. It pays. And by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Hi, everybody. Mike Crispino back courtside with number 18, Darryl Imhoff, one of the Knicks all-decade team, being honored today. 3rd overall pick back in 1960 with the Knicks. They called you the Axe, is that right? What's the difference between the Axe and the Hatchet?
Well, the Axe, I didn't pick up that name until I played with the Lakers with Elgin Baylor, and Elgin gave me that name because it didn't matter whether you were a teammate or the opposition. You came in the paint, you paid a price, the Axe would find you.
All right, now the other side of the story, by the way, on that 100-point night that Wilt Chamberlain had against the New York Knicks was the fact that you just couldn't guard him the whole night. Someone else had to guard him, right?
Well, we only had the starting center that year was Phil Jordan, and Phil was sick, and I was the backup center, so I started, and I got in foul trouble. I had 3 fouls early. I went to the bench, and in Hershey, Pennsylvania, those sewers, we call them sewers, the hoops are so soft. He made 28 out of 32 from the free throw line. When I got my first 3 fouls, Will was backing over me, and I said to Willie Smith, I said, the official, I said, why don't you give him 100 points, we'll all go home. And he did. But they intentionally fouled us the 4th quarter. The clock would tick off 1 or 2 seconds, and all of a sudden they were back into a situation where they put us 3 to make 2 in the old days, and they get the ball back and run it down. It was like they were pouring on the score.
Now, if you were to change anything about today's game, I know you broadcast with the Trailblazers back in the late 70s. What would you do differently?
Well, I think one thing that has to change this game is get rid of the illegal defense. I think this game is, let them play defense any way they want to. These guys are the world's finest players. Let them adapt to that and score off of it. I think there's too much one-on-one basketball, and people want to see a team game.
All right, that's Darryl Imhoff, war number 18 with the New York Knicks. Mike Breen, John Andres, once traded for Wilt Chamberlain as well.
It's a heck of a claim to fame, although he certainly had a terrific NBA career.
Yes, Darryl was with the Knicks in 60, 61, 61, 62. He was the 3rd overall pick in the 1960 draft. Then went on to play with Detroit, the Lakers, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and Portland.
That last foul on John Wallace as Williamson will go. Wallace now with 3. First free throw, no good. Knicks down by 1. Just under a minute, or just over a minute gone by here in the 4th. The Kings from the free throw line, 14 of 23, 61%.
Well, it was last January 13th here at the Garden, Mike, that the Kings came in with a 13-game road losing streak here at the Garden and beat the Knicks 119-111, led by Mitch Richmond's 32 points. Knicks are facing that situation right now, led by Richmond.
Starks off the screen. Feeds Oakley. Good ball movement again. Childs
Three-pointer for Chris Childs, his second of the game, and the Knicks back up by 1. 79-78. Here early in the 4th. Largest lead in this game by either team, 8 by the Knicks, that in the first half, so it's been close throughout. Billy Owens throws it away. Triple team and just flipped it. And the Knicks will get it back.
Both teams now with 10 turnovers in this game.
The Knicks have done a much better job in the turnover department. Childs gets away. Oakley left wide open. Charles Oakley's second field goal here in the 4th quarter. And the Knicks back up by 3. St. Jean wants a 22nd timeout. See, when Oakley gets that ball in position to shoot it and doesn't have to do a lot of motion before he executes the shot, he's much more effective. He got the ball just at the right moment. Chris Childs drifting over to the right corner, draws double duty, and then back to Oakley, who had time to line up the shot and comfortably deliver it. Oakley now 9.7 rebounds. And the good ball movement once again.
Yes, Charles Oakley with the quick dish off. And that was a 3-point shot by Childs a moment ago.
Childs 2 of 4 from the field, and again has hit 2 3-pointers. And there the Knicks doing a much better job in the assist-to-turnover ratio. Lead back up to 3. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Backdoor Polynice and an easy 2.
Buck Williams got caught looking at the ball and lost track of Polynice for just a split second.
Polynice with 19. Knicks lead is 1. John Wallace in the game here in the 4th again. Looking to post up Billy Owens. 2 Syracuse guys going at it. Wallace turns way short on the shot, and Williams an excellent boxing out of Oakland. Starks on to Richmond. Good defense from Starks. And Richmond can't connect Oakley with a rebound. And a foul call reach in on Abdul Rauf. That'll be his second. First team foul. Abdul Rauf still adjusting to life as a king as Starks off the head fake, fires, in and out, Williamson the rebound. Sellout crowd trying to get the Knicks involved defensively. King shooting 53% from the field. Owens against Wallace with the left hand and a nice roll. And it's Sacramento back up by 1.
That's where he's really tough around the hoop.
6 points for Owens. Knicks trail by 1. 8.5 remaining in the 4th. Childs back for Oakley. Touch pass. John Starks 3-pointer. And Starks with his first points of the game.
John only played 7 minutes of the first half, as Allen Houston had a strong first half.
Houston has played well at both ends. Starks now trying to help out on defense on Richmond. As the Knicks back up by 2. Owens isolated with Wallace. Now with the right hand. Buck Williams rips down the rebound. Terrific game for Buck Williams off the bench. Oakley wide open. And Charles Oakley connects his 3rd field goal here in the 4th. And the Knicks up by 4.
He's getting the ball right. Just when he's ready to shoot it, he's getting it. Another good thing for Houston is that he wasn't in foul trouble in the first half. Only had 1.
And that has certainly been a problem for him. Oakley, meanwhile, 3 for 3 from the field. Wallace with the steal. Knicks looking to break. A 4-point Knick lead. Childs beats Buck Williams for the slam. And the Knicks go up by 6. A 7-0 run. Timeout, Sacramento. Chris Childs of the Knicks with a strong 4th quarter thus far. 7:21 remaining in the 4th. The Knicks lead by 6.
We know this is probably the last thing you want to think about right now. So don't. Think about this. Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $349 a month. or Jeep Cherokee with special values. Both have Jeep's legendary four-wheel drive system to get you through the deepest snow. So head over to your local Jeep and Eagle dealer today to take advantage of these deals. Then you won't ever have to think about this again.
See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Announcing the Adventure Discovered Sweepstakes.
I've been shopping, big time. It's all right here on my Discover Card statement.
Use your Discover Card, and you could win everything on Boyd Matson's statement.
Patagonia. It's me. 2 tickets on American. My new Jeep.
Plus, you'll join him on
a National Geographic filming expedition.
It's the grand prize in the Adventure Discovered Sweepstakes.
Well, I've done my shopping. Have you?
It pays to discover. Watch National Geographic Explorer on TBS.
Hey, heard the news? This holiday weekend, Toyota dealers are talking turkey. Get $750 customer cash back that can be used as your down payment on any new Corolla or new Tacoma truck. Plus, get 5.9% 48-month financing on all new Corollas and Tacomas. This holiday weekend only. These guys are saying more than gobble, gobble. Save with $750 customer cash back and 5.9% 48-month financing. Combine both and save even more this holiday weekend only. See your Toyota dealer and carve a delicious holiday deal.
Good things happening for the Knicks now with 7:21 to go. They've opened up a lead of 6 points to 7. We'll take a look at 7 points quickly. John Starks off the Chris Childs pass. Childs another pass to Oakley, ready to bomb two, and he does it. Another assist for Childs. He then came down and also set up one of his teammates for another hoop for a 7-point run.
And you can see the defensive intensity picked up. Oakley deflection, but Michael Smith holds on. Richmond with 5 on the shot clock. The floater off the dribble. Terrific shot from Mitch Richmond. He is unbelievable. 88-84. Knicks by 4, just under 7 to play here in the fourth. Starks fires another 3. Short. Buck Williams another rebound. Starks another 3. It's good. John Starks from downtown, and the Knicks go up by 7.
Quite a combination, Buck Williams and Starks.
Starks with his first points of the game here in the fourth. Couple of threes. 91-84. Childs with some good defense. A 10-2 run by the Knicks. Abdul Rauf almost dribbles it out of bounds. There's the steal. Here's a 2-on-1 break. Childs back for Starks, and he lays it in. The lead is 9.
Chris Childs is floating along beautifully.
6:09 remaining in the fourth. Timeout Kings. Knicks on a 12-2 run. They lead by 9.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our half-hour edition of the Coors Light MSG Sports Desk. I'm Bob Page. You're watching MSG Network. We're all over it.
Gee. Oh. Wow. Gee. Oh.
Going on now at all Princeton locations is a 3-day holiday sale with everything in every department reduced to the lowest prices they have ever been. That's right, every ski, every boot, every binding has been additionally reduced. Every snowboard and all snowboard clothing has been additionally reduced, and more. All ski clothing additionally reduced, just in time for the holidays. Plus, with every ski and snowboard, seize the day with free lift tickets to Hunter Mountain. Don't miss Princeton Ski Shop's holiday sale going on now at all Princeton ski locations. For more information, call 1-800-ALL-SKIS, 1-800-ALL-SKIS.
Holidays can be difficult after the death of a loved one. That's why O.B. Davis Funeral Homes is sponsoring a special program free of charge for people who don't feel this is a happy season. Dr. Darcy Sims, noted author and grief therapist, will provide valuable suggestions and ideas on how to better cope with the season and ways to commemorate a loved one who has died. Make plans to attend this helpful program and candlelighting tribute to your loved one. For more information and free reservations, call 473-86.
We want you to know on Tuesday, December 23rd, famed Knicks photographer George Kalinsky will be signing his new Knicks 50th anniversary celebration picture book at Sportsworks on 83rd Street and 3rd Avenue. George will be joined by legendary Knicks Earl Monroe and Bernard King, and what a terrific book it is for any Knicks fan of any age.
And typical work from George Kalinsky. Knicks with some good work here in the fourth. They've outscored the Kings 19-7. Lead by 9. Simmons underneath. Swatted away by Oakley. Richmond with 2 on the shot clock. Heaves the 3. And Oakley grabs the rebound. Knicks looks to break. Childs having a terrific fourth quarter. Wallace down low. Again, the ball movement. Chris Childs now off the dribble. Backs it in. And the Knicks go up by 11. What a quarter from Chris Childs.
Childs had 5 assists in the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter alone.
A 14-2 run. And a whistle and a foul call. They'll go against the Knicks. Their second team foul. John Starks, his first. Biggest lead of the game for the Knicks, an 11-point advantage, 95-84, with 5:13 remaining in the fourth. Gus Kersey letting Richmond and Starks know to take it easy on each other. Holiday down low. Buck Williams pokes it away. And it's still going to be Kings ball. What a game Buck Williams has had. Season high 16 points, 8 rebounds.
You know, it's interesting, Mike. In contrast to early this season when the Knicks were being outscored by the opponents by 12 points whenever Ewing was not on the floor, today they played so well when Patrick has been resting.
Richmond double team. Tyus Edney connects. So Tyus Edney with a big basket for the Kings.
The way he shot that jumper, I don't know if the ball was going to reach the basket.
Absolutely. Looked like a 12-year-old, you know. He really has been shooting poorly. 95-86. Starks. Quick release on the jumper. Won't go. And rebound by Simmons. Kings will push it up. They can score points in a hurry. Starks bumps Richmond. Count it and 1. And Richmond, who has had some wild fourth quarters against the Knicks, he says this one's not over yet.
The man is a scoring machine. He's unbelievable how he can be rocked by the defender and still make the shot. Here you see Richmond get hit by John Starks and just continues on his business.
Jeff Van Gundy calls timeout. 4:38 remaining in the fourth. Knicks with a 7-point lead.
I really don't like soft drinks with fruity names. I like roller coaster rides that make my brain sweat. I find reasons to go a different way. My family and I enjoy life to the utmost. So if you want to experience my joy, don't ride with me. Buy your own.
Read my Discover card statement? Now this ought to be an adventure. Here's a gift for Betty. She's my wife, my dad, the kids.
Shop with your Discover card and the Adventure Discovered Value Book for rebates on the Wizard of Oz video, Hasbro toys and games, and more. Send in your Discover card receipts and you could get over $240 back.
My brother, Betty's folks, the kids.
It pays to Discover. Look in the mail for your value book.
Well, it's danger time now with Mitch Richmond heating up. Always a tough opponent for anybody. But he loves to shoot the basketball here in Madison Square Garden, as he did last January 13th. In the fourth quarter, the man made four 3-point shots and led his team to victory over the Knicks and ending a 13-game losing streak here against the Knicks. That dated back to 1981 when a little bit younger Ernie Grunfeld was a member of the Kings.
And he needs 2 more points for 14,000 for his career. His scoring average at 22.7 is in the top 20 all time. And he's not going to go down without a fight. He's got another free throw coming up here, as what was an 11-point lead has been cut to 7. And still plenty of time left with over 4.5 minutes remaining.
He only had 8 points at halftime. Hits the free throw. So 16 of his 24 here in the second half. 95-89. Knicks lead cut to 6. Childs. Good defense from the Kings. Buck Williams and Polity, 7 on the shot clock. The double team. Nice feed to Wallace. Wallace slams it in.
Williams knew. He knew instinctively that Wallace's man had turned to double team him, and that told him right away Wallace is open.
Lead back to 8, 97-89. Smith stolen by Wallace. Childs now to lead the break. Pulls up. Starks left wide open. It's good. Three-pointer for John Starks. And the Knicks back up by 11. And the bench really doing a job. Wallace, Buck Williams, Chris Childs, and John Starks. An 11-point lead, 3.5 remaining. Tyus Sidney draws the foul on Childs.
Well, since the, Mike, the fourth quarter started, it has been a 26-12 run for the Knicks with the big man, Patrick Ewing, resting on the bench.
Nice ovation for Williams. Patrick Ewing doing the job the first 3 quarters with 23 points, 12 boards. It's a long rest, and the team really excellent play while Ewing was resting. Knicks by 11. Just under 3.5 remaining here in the fourth. Knicks trailed by 3 entering this period. Richmond against Starks. Nice alteration, but can't get it. Ewing is fouled on the rebound. Knicks putting it all together at both ends here in the fourth. Michael Smith with his second foul. Second team foul, so the Knicks will take it out.
Knicks situation on the board so different than last year. In the 2 losses to the Kings, the Knicks are out rebounded by over 14 rebounds a game in those 2 games.
Wallace right there with a hand, puts it in and a foul. Boy, he is a knack around the basket.
Today the Knicks are dominating the boards, and John Wallace has to feel good. He's made a couple of fine plays. With him, it doesn't have to be scoring only. He's doing other things, but here he gets a chance to pop a couple of points up.
He has terrific hands. Even somebody gets a deflection as the free throw hangs on and goes in. Lead is now 14, largest lead of the game. Very strong hands down low.
He knows what to do with the basketball, too, when he's being shut down defensively. He always makes the good decisions.
7 points for Wallace, number of steals as well. Tyus Sidney, three-pointer, and Edney from downtown. 103-92. 11-point Knick lead with 2:46 remaining. The last guy you'd think would start hitting for them. Starks, strong move, kicks it out. Wallace again underneath. Wallace forces it up and puts it in. He is so strong around the basket. 105-92. Lead back to 13. Simmons operating down low. Good head fake. Ewing with the block, but they'll call the goaltend. And credit 2 points for Lionel Simmons as Corliss Williamson and Billy Owens will come back in.
This has been a sparkling fourth quarter for the Knicks, led by Chris Childs, who has accumulated 7 assists here in the fourth quarter.
9 for the game. Childs also with 5 of his 8 points here in the fourth. And some terrific defense. Backdoor to Starks. Blocked from behind by Richmond. Starks gets it back, flips it up and in. And it's all going right for the Knicks here in the fourth. Another timeout for the Kings. 2:06 remaining, fourth quarter. Knicks by 13.
Man, nothing like a new pair of Nike turf trainers.
Yeah, you know Steve Young works out in the Air Zoom Fly.
Oh, can that guy hustle? All right. Hey, you're Steve Young.
What's up?
So, what do you think?
Nobody gets you closer to the game than Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Man, my party is late.
Slowly back away.
Here's a look at the Marriott Marquis Sky Cam. We talked about the terrific fourth quarter here by Chris Childs. Almost picked up another assist. John Starks couldn't handle the first one, but the second one he did. John Starks with a brilliant fourth quarter himself. The New York Marriott Marquis, Broadway's biggest hit.
The Knicks bench, a huge hit this afternoon. And before the season started, John, that's what so many people thought would give the Knicks the edge and over a lot of teams, maybe the deepest team in the NBA. And the bench superb. John Starks and Chris Childs leading this fourth quarter. Buck Williams and John Wallace have been terrific as well.
Starks did not score in the first half, only played 7 minutes. Right now, you take a look what he's done in the fourth quarter with 13 points.
All of his points here in the final period where the Knicks have opened up a 13-point lead.
They want to get that ball to Richmond, but they find Polonese instead, who works it out.
Quick basket for Polonese, who has 21. 107-96. Just under 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Childs backs in, Edney guarding him. Off a Ewing screen, Childs nearly falls. Knicks taking their time. 7 on the shot clock. Starks off balance jumper. Ewing the rebound. Quick putback is up and in.
Very soft hand by Ewing on that shot after reaching for that basketball. It required all of his energy and then to come right back with the soft delivery of the shot.
Lead is back to 13 with under a minute and a half remaining. Mitch Richmond blocked by Wallace. His second block here in the fourth. And Childs is going to be whistled for a kick, I believe. Jess Kersey with the late whistle almost apologizes to Childs, who's pleading his case. Childs with a laugh. Kersey is one of the officials that is always constant dialogue with players and coaches. Does a good job in terms of keeping things under control.
He's a pro.
Just a couple of words can diffuse certain situations that sometimes can get out of hand. So Richmond will go to the line. 1:16 remaining. Knicks lead it by 13, 109-96.
Richmond came into tonight's game making 27 straight from the line over the last several games.
And there goes the streak. He had hit 3 this afternoon, so he did 30 in a row. You see the Knicks this week at home against the Heat on Tuesday, at the Meadowlands Wednesday, and then down in Miami once again against the Heat on Friday. All games here on the MSG Network. And Richmond now has his 14,000th career point by hitting that second free throw. 109-97. Knicks will slow it down. By the way, that game against the Nets, of course, will be on Sports Channel, not on the MSG Network. We'll have the 2 Heat games for you. Ewing down low on the left block, spins underneath, drives, reverse layup, blocked but a foul. And Ewing will shoot 2 with a minute remaining and a 12-point Knick lead.
Patrick took what the defense gave him. Overplayed the right hand, and Patrick went left baseline.
So Ewing strong for 3 quarters, and the bench picking up the slack in the fourth. 25 points, 14 rebounds for Ewing, and a good shooting performance.
Real balanced effort for the Knicks today. A lot of contributors.
First free throw off the mark, and the Knicks look on the verge to snap their losing streak at 3. And they certainly needed to come out with a strong performance the way they had played in the previous 3. Kings will call another timeout. Exactly a minute remaining here in the fourth. The Knicks lead at 110-97.
Read my Discover Card statement? Now this ought to be an adventure. Here's a gift for Betty. She's my wife, my dad, the kids.
Shop with your Discover Card in the Adventure Discovered Value Book for rebates on Zenith TV accessories, Sony Wonder videos, Braun appliances, and more. Send in your Discover Card receipts, and you could get over $240 back.
My brother, Betty's folks, the kids.
It pays to discover. Look in the mail for your valuable.
Oh, ho! Oh, diddly ho, ho! Got your pizza movie, guys.
What?
I got your pizza movie.
What's a pizza movie?
You buy a pizzeria stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut, you get a free rental at Blockbuster. Pizza movie, get it?
Free? How'd you do that?
I'm Santa. I can do anything.
Now at Pizza Hut, buy a large pizzeria stuffed crust pizza for $9.99 and get a certificate for 1 free rental of Blockbuster Video.
This is getting easy.
A minute remaining, fourth quarter, Madison Square Garden, and the Knicks on the verge of snapping their 3-game losing streak with a very strong fourth quarter. Knicks trailed by 3 heading into the fourth, but now with a 13-point lead. John Starks on the bench. Starks 13 points, all of his points here in the fourth. Buck Williams with a strong game, perhaps his best of the season. John Wallace and Chris Childs. Childs brilliant distributing the basketball here in the fourth.
He's had a terrific game, as has John Starks, both of them in the fourth quarter coming on strong. One of Jeff Van Gundy's interesting things he did at practice this week is showed his team clips of the newspapers over the last couple of years to try and take some of the pressure off his team, because they had a 3-game losing streak. Hey, these things happen. You look at Larry Johnson and Buck Williams showing you how they feel after this fine effort. Knicks had a 5-game losing streak last year. The year before, they had a 5-game losing streak, and Jeff, who was here throughout those rough moments, wanted to tell his team, hey, these things happen. It's not the worst thing that's going on right now.
Tyus Edney with a quick score as Harry St. Jean has emptied his bench. All the local products out there: Bobby Hurley, Lloyd Daniels, Dwayne Caldwell. Knicks lead is 11. 45 seconds remaining.
The Starks team came out much looser today and put forth an effort that he had to love.
Ewing banks it in and a foul. A nice feed from Oakley as the Knicks' ball movement and unselfish passing have paid off. We talk so much about turnovers. Knicks only with 10 turnovers, not 1 in the fourth quarter, John.
It certainly helps when those turnovers are at a minimum.
Ewing connects on the free throw, so 29 points for Patrick Ewing, 113-99. Knicks equal their largest lead and have equaled their highest point total of the season. That was against the Hornets in the home opener. Corliss Williamson turns and connects. And the shot clock is off. 20 seconds remaining here in the fourth. And the Knicks will stop the losing streak at 3. And Lloyd Daniels with the foul for some unbelievable reason. So Daniels, of course, the former New York product. Now you can consider him an NBA journeyman. Actually, he was a high school journeyman.
Lloyd Daniels, a New York legend, actually, for what he overcame to get to the professional ranks. And he's here because the man can shoot the basketball.
Friends with a lot of the Knicks. He's played with the Spurs as Childs able to connect on the first free throw. And Jeff Van Gundy has to be pleased with the play of John Starks and the Knicks bench. In fact, the entire team. As you mentioned earlier, one of those all-around performances. Everyone chipping in. The lead is 14. Final seconds here in the fourth quarter. Crowd urging Daniels to shoot. Oakley with the block. And a fitting end as the Knicks end their losing streak at 3. An impressive fourth quarter for Jeff Van Gundy's team. Down by 3 entering the fourth. Knicks blow away the Kings in the final period. Patrick Ewing with 29. The Knicks score 41 points in the fourth quarter. Mitch Richmond tried hard in the fourth. He finished with 25 and achieved his 14,000th career point. But the Knicks end the losing streak at 3. Final score at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks 115 and the Kings 101. Lots more coming up.
This is how we do it. How we do it. Yeah, yeah.
Face it. A true sport utility vehicle is the one you can afford to drive like a sport utility vehicle. Suzuki Sidekick Sport. Fully loaded for around $20,000. It's what an SUV ought to be. Now through November 30th, leads a new Sport for just $229 a month at your New York, New Jersey area Suzuki dealers.
Honey? Honey?
Where are you?
With a sharp view cam, there are none of the distractions you get with ordinary camcorders. Its big color screen and pivoting lens mean there are no tiny viewfinders or flip-out screens to get in the way. So you can easily get close to the action and get the shots you'd miss with those other camcorders. You either have a sharp view cam or you need one.
Want to get your feet wet on the internet?
And the rest of the Kings, an unhappy bunch as they leave the Garden on the short end of a 115-101 defeat. Buck Williams celebrating with Larry Johnson, along with Allen Houston, who did not play in the fourth quarter. Johnson, Houston, and Ward all sat out. Patrick Ewing missed most of the fourth quarter as the Knicks bench, including John Wallace and Buck Williams, were sensational as the Knicks win at 115-101. A look at our leading scorers summary now. Brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Ewing with 29, although he played just a couple of minutes in the fourth quarter. Buck Williams with 16. John Starks with 13. Charles Oakley with 13 as well. Larry Johnson with 12 for the New York Knicks, 5 in double figures. The rest of the scoring from the Kings: Mitch Richmond, a quiet 25 points. Olden Polynice, 11 points over his season average with 21. Abdul Rauf with 17. Corliss Williamson, impressive with 12 points. We'll be back with more. We'll talk with Buck Williams. The Knicks win at 115-101.
Welcome to Ridgecrest, California, ideal proving ground for the Sony Discman with ESP. We developed ESP technology to
Bounds just missed a double-double, and he joins us now here courtside. And Buck, in 24 minutes, you got as much done, I think, as anybody could have got done. But let's talk about that lineup in the fourth quarter for the Knicks. They go with you at center, then John Wallace, the rookie, Childs and Starks in the backcourt. They seem to click as well as we've seen a unit click so far this year.
Yes, Mike, it's very interesting. If you're about to throw away your old newspapers and your old cars, you know, hang on to them. They may be worth some one day, but it's kind of fun in the third quarter. Coach has been trying to get a little more offense out of the second unit. So I had myself and Oakley out there. Oakley came with some big points tonight. I was able to get an open floor. So hopefully we can get a little more production out of the second unit.
Is this the most center you have ever played in your career? You weigh 235 now. You're playing against guys who are 275, 280 now.
Yes, this is the first time I played this much center, but hopefully, you know, we can go with a quick lineup. I can play a little more center, but I just want to be out on the basketball floor. I like to sort of keep myself around the basketball, and tonight we really pushed the ball down the floor very well, and we had the ball in the open floor, so we need to get some easy points out of our basketball team.
A lot of discussion before the game about Chris Childs not starting, and Charlie Ward did start this afternoon, and Childs had a strong fourth quarter. From your viewpoint, how does he run this ball club? Does he help in terms of the point guard play?
Well, I think Charles is really the key to our basketball team. He's very vocal, and as you saw tonight, he has the ability to take the ball to the goal. And sometimes we turn into a jump shooting basketball team. So with him in the lineup, now he can take the basketball to the goal and dish for the easy baskets, and Charlie comes in and he can more or less run the team. But he's a key element in what we're trying to get done here in trying to win a championship.
Now, Patrick Ewing had a strong three quarters, had 23 points, then sat down for about 9 minutes of the fourth quarter. Were you looking over your shoulder, waiting for the big guy to get back in there?
There's no question about it. You know, Patrick's not going to sit on the bench very long, but I was looking over my shoulder. But it's just so good to come in the game and contribute any way you can, whether it's defensively, offensively. And tonight, I thought the whole 12 guys on our basketball team played very well.
Having spent part of your career, of course, in this metro area, you know about the coverage for teams like the Knicks. You got some strong coverage this week, asking questions, where are the Knicks going at 8-5? They're losing at home, something's wrong. How did you guys respond to that? What did you talk about in practice this week?
Well, I don't tell Coach I said this because he thinks it's a big excuse, but we just need more time to gel as a basketball team. We have 3 new starters on our team this year. We have 7 new players total, so we just need a while to sort of get things clicking. But I'm very hopeful, and I really feel this team can sort of turn things around. We're a mediocre team right now at this present time, but hopefully once we get accustomed to playing with each other, everything will sort of fall into place.
Certainly the Knicks played like a very deep and talented team this afternoon in beating Sacramento. Thanks much to Buck Williams for joining us here courtside. 115-101 was the final again, and a very strong fourth quarter by the Knicks. 41 points total, led by Chris Childs, John Starks, and others. Now let's go to Mike Breen.
All right, thanks, Mike. Leave it to a veteran to put it in perspective as the Knicks snap their losing streak at 3. They improved to 9-5 overall, 4-3 here at the Garden. Kings now 5-11 overall, 3-7 on the road. Coming up next, the Knicks will host Pat Riley and the Miami Heat. MCS KNICKS game night begins at 7:30 p.m. Tip-off shortly after 8. Next on MSG, the post-game report. A lot of heroes for the Knicks this afternoon in their victory over the Kings. And closed captioning has been brought to you by Empire Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the best of health. Once again, the Knicks with a strong fourth quarter led by the bench. Final score, the Knicks 115, the Kings 101. For John Andres, this is Mike Breen from Marv Albert. Good afternoon, everyone. New York Knicks basketball has been brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Payne Weber. When you invest with Payne Weber, you invest with more intelligence. By AT&T, your true choice. By British Airways, the world's favorite airline. And by Fannie Mae Foundation, showing America a new way home.
There is a place,
American Express helps Knicks fans do more.
From Hilltop.
Fourth quarter that we have seen so far this year, and they now move to 9-5. They had 6 men in double figures, and the interesting aspect of the game is the lineup the Knicks used in the fourth quarter, at least much of it, including John Wallace, the rookie, along with Charles Oakley up front, and Buck Williams at center. Chris Childs with his best play so far as a New York Knick, along with John Starks, who had all 13 of his points coming in the fourth quarter. That unit working beautifully, as Larry Johnson didn't have to play in the fourth quarter. Neither did Allen Houston or Charlie Ward. All those players contributing throughout the 3 quarters prior to that, as the Knicks win it 115-101, and a good victory for them. A look at the final stats this afternoon at the Garden and the matinee here on MSG Network. We'll take a look at both teams shooting very well this afternoon. The Kings at 55% and still lose by 14. The Knicks at 54%, taking, though, 86 shots. They pushed the ball well this afternoon. The 3-point field goal area, the Knicks close to 50%. The Kings down, as you can see, to 25%. Free throws, the Knicks 17 of 24. For the Kings, 17 of 27. So the Knicks winning the rebound battle 39-32. Had more assists this afternoon, 32-25. They were led by Chris Childs with 9, and Charles Oakley had 7 as well, and only 10 turnovers for the Knicks, who've been averaging over 20. And the big number, the bench scoring for the Knicks, Buck Williams with 16, Childs with 10, Starks with 13, John Wallace with 9, 48 off the bench for the New York Knicks in their big double-digit victory this afternoon. John Wallace did it on both ends of the court. A steal ahead to Chris Childs, who pulls up, gives it up to Starks for the three-pointer. John hit it. 3 of 5 for him this afternoon. We'll be back with more from the Garden after this.
The New York Knicks postgame report is brought to you by Citibank. For banking anytime, anywhere, any way you choose. At Citibank, the city never sleeps.
This is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no brand
produced by any other brew who scotch summers to brew an ace.
Our explosive B20 produces a taste, a smooth. Hey, I was reading that.
Smoothness and drinkability you will find in no other beer at any price.
Hey, New York.
How do you well know your bud?
How well do you know your bud?
Know your bud.
Serious.
So I get this email from my friend.
You're not there.
Whoa. And all about Citibank's PC banking. It's unbelievable. You get software, 24-hour service, even an 800 helpline. All free. Banking was never this easy.
Daddy, even I can do it.
Well, maybe next year.
Get Citibank's PC banking service for any PC or Mac. Call now. 1-800-321-CITI.
Other banks charge a fortune. You believe that? But Citibank PC banking is free and better. Hey, look, did you ever pay anyone this easily? Boom. Or move money from one account to another like this?
Outrageous.
Even get stock quotes or check my Citibank credit card anytime. So I'm in control. My finances, anyway. And it's all safely done on Citibank's private network.
Citibank's PC banking is also available for small businesses and professionals.
So why go to the bank when the bank can come to you?
Get Citibank's PC banking. Call now, 1-800-321-CITI. The city never sleeps.
Your own private cabin on British Airways First doesn't just give you the best night's sleep in the air. It gives you all the privacy you could dream of.
This date in New York Knicks history is brought to you by Tommy Hilfiger, the classic American designer.
November 30th, 1991, Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons jump out to an early 18-point lead at the Garden. But Patrick Ewing ignites a rally late in the first half that continues into the third quarter as the Knicks score 19 consecutive points. Ewing finished with 45, leading New York to the victory and a 9-0 home record.
This date in New York Knicks history is brought to you by Tommy Hilfiger, the classic American designer.
The Knicks are winners in a matinee here at the Garden, 115-101, double-doubles for Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley. Ewing had 29 points, 14 rebounds, Oakley with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Jeff Van Gundy played 9 people this afternoon. This is the kind of game that a coach certainly enjoys. All 9 of them contributed mightily, especially the 4 that came off the bench as the Knicks won at 115-101. Now here's what Jeff Van Gundy had to say moments ago.
I mean, I thought that group played well. Yeah. We'll see over time, you know, what play continues to play well. I thought Buck was really, really good the whole game, though. I thought he was terrific.
I thought Charles ran the team when he came in the fourth quarter.
He did a nice job. He got us good shots. He controlled the ball. And, you know, his defensive intensity and energy really helped us down the stretch. He really pushed the ball well.
Jeff down 84-83 in the fourth quarter. I think of bringing Patrick back then.
I think 84-83 was still pretty early. I'm not sure what the time was, but he would have normally come in about with 7, but I thought the team was good on a good roll. So just like anybody else, we're going to go with the team that is playing well. And then when they got it back to 6, that's when I decided to go back with him at 95-89, but he didn't get in.
Oh, I see.
He didn't get back in until I think we were back up 11. Yeah.
Jeff, was that lineup more for defensive purposes when you brought them in? Really, other than Starks, you really didn't have a scorer out there.
Well, see, I think Buck scores better than people give him credit for. I think sometimes we as a team pass him up in the low post, and I think he's a very efficient scorer. Charles Oakley can make perimeter jump shots. Wallace can score some, and Chris Childs is a scoring point guard type. So yeah, I think we have enough scoring with that group. It's a small group as far as presence in the low post defensively, but I think Buck obviously is an accomplished low post defender.
Did you see enough good things in this game that makes you feel you've taken a step in the direction toward where you want to go?
Well, I think it's everything's incremental. So, I thought our guys did a good job finding a way to get a win, being down at the end of 3 quarters. I thought it was good. I thought they did a nice job. They hung in there tough, made good plays in the fourth quarter. I thought it was really good.
You gonna stick with Childs right now coming off the bench?
Yeah, I did. When Chris came back, I think it was the Orlando game was his first game back. In my mind, he was going to go 6 to 8 games, on the bench, and then we were going to decide what was best for the team at that time. So I'm not really concerned whether we're winning in a winning streak or in a losing streak at whatever time that comes. But that's going to be the approximate time that we make a decision on what's best for the team.
That's the most active you've seen Wallace defensively in a while.
Well, I think anytime they make a direct point at going at you 3, 4, 5 straight times, you're either going to find yourself on the bench or, you decide to make stands. And he made good stands. He did a really nice job.
Did you tell him to front the post on that third one, or did he think of it himself?
Well, fronting is, we want to front a lot, but in the first half he got beat on a lob early in the half because he was fronting too far out. And in that one, he's got good anticipation. So he was playing behind and then, circled the post and got a steal. And that was a big play. He did a nice job.
Jeff, when you first signed Buck, you realized he had this much left in his life? You surprised?
I talked to Dick Harder, who, I worked with here for a while, who had coached him out there. And he said he was still very, very live. And, but I don't think you'd expect anybody who's played as many years as he has to be as live as he still is. And he's obviously got a lot left in him, and I think really he's been very, very consistent.
You'll hit a stretch soon when you play 4 games in 5 days. Is that one thing this team can use, is to play a lot of games rather than, play a game?
We can use a lot of wins. I don't know. It don't matter the games. I mean, we can stand to win a lot. That's for sure.
Jeff, what do you think about Stark's fourth quarter play?
He did a real nice job, because I think it's very tough to get off to a bad start, as he did, and find a way to still come back and play well. And I thought he did a real nice job with that.
You hit a bunch of threes down the stretch there.
Sure did. That was good.
Johnson had the flu this week.
Right.
Same thing as with Patrick. The lineup was going well. You didn't use him in the fourth quarter at all.
Same thing. Yeah. I thought John Wallace was playing well, and more importantly, helping our team play well. But I thought Larry played very